Look, I want to talk now about an issue that might not have any immediate newsworthiness, but I think it's important. And as you've heard me around Anzac Day and other days, I've got huge respect for people who served this country in time of war and faced deprivation and possible death and sacrificed for our greater good. And people from all nations do that all around the world all the time. And they get, as part of their service, they are liable for, or eligible, I should say, for certain decorations. Some of them are just service medals for serving in a conflict or in a theatre of operations. And then we go up to the VCs and the Distinguished Service Medals, which are another thing on another level entirely. But they're awarded to the individuals, and they can be handed down from family to family, member to family member down the generations. But a recent story about a guy called Bruce Blackburn, who was an RSA official, wearing medals or claiming medals that were not his, has sparked some controversy. And to find out more about this issue, I want to talk to someone who is an expert on stolen valour, Ian Martyn, who joins us on the line now. Ian, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Sean.
Look, this issue is one I understand that service personnel and ex-service personnel take really, really seriously.
Yeah, they do indeed. It has a number of effects as far as the veteran community is concerned. In the first place, it undermines the purpose of medal recognition and the manner that those medals actually hold for the recipients. Now, a lot of those medals obviously are issued by the Crown, so it disrespects those awards and the honourable service that genuine veterans have contributed, often in very extreme circumstances. The third thing it does, it insults the families of loved ones, particularly those who have lost a veteran and who has earned exactly the same medals that the medal cheat or the wannabe would wear. And the last thing it does, obviously, it dupes the public. The public don't know the difference, but it's tantamount to defrauding the public or currying favour with them when it's not warranted.
Right.
It lowers the public's level of respect, I think, for military veterans overall. When one of these people are exposed, they don't know who to trust.
Ian, is it common?
Yeah, it is. It's been going on for decades, Sean. It goes in fits and starts. It's got a little bit of a background. We went through that long period up until the 60s and 70s, basically the Cold War period.
Yeah.
Now, as far as our Defence Force was concerned, medals were very thin on the ground compared with some other militaries. And then in the late 70s or 80s, suddenly there was this proliferation of unofficial, what I call junk medals or vanity medals and commemorative medals. And they were pushed out by private companies to make money to capitalise on service of those veterans who didn't have any have any service or have any medals. And in the 90s, once the rules were, I won't say relaxed, but once the rules were revised, particularly in Australia and New Zealand, and there was more medallic recognition for overseas operations in particular, that led to a wide range of replicas of the official medals and commemoratives coming out.
Yeah.
The net result of that is the wannabe revolution, if you like, was born, which is, a combination of civilians and ex-military members.
Yeah.
So once the veteran got their heads around this story, the non-veterans tended to drop away, and the replica official medals suddenly became de rigueur.
Yeah.
And they tend to have supplanted the junk and vanity medals. Now we have more cases of the medal cheat. Sadly, the veteran of either being a service veteran or a returned veteran who on occasions is inclined to add one or two to their rack.
But it's weird, and they don't make any money off it. And they must know, the people who wear a medal that they're not entitled to. It's not like there's any real financial gain in it.
No, there's no financial gain whatsoever. It's just personal prestige, or because perhaps they served during a period where they didn't receive a great deal of medallic recognition.
Yeah.
And now that there is medals for Africa,
Yeah, I get you.
they have discreetly added one or two here, mainly commemoratives rather than official replicas.
Okay.
It's mainly the commemoratives,
Yeah.
which they all full know well is just a no-go. You do not add
Okay, and they're well aware. The people who do this are aware of the rules because they're RSA. And do RSA things talk about this? Do they have information about it available to veterans? What you're entitled to, what you're not?
No, the RSA is not remotely interested. All the organisations that should be interested are not interested. It's one of those...
Now, I find this interesting, Ian. I would have thought a responsible Return Services Association would say, hey, guys, here are the rules about medals. We'll keep you updated.
Well, certainly, and there may well be some that do that. It would be news to me. And certainly there are veterans who will step up to the plate and call somebody out.
Yeah.
But the problem is, amongst the veteran community, those that know and see errors are disinclined to do anything about it because these people might be their mates.
Yeah.
Or they might be in positions of responsibility.
Yeah, but that's what you
in the
do for a
community.
mate. You say to a mate, don't be a dick.
Well, that's what you would think would happen, but it doesn't happen, Sean. That's the problem.
Jeez.
So
Ian,
that's,
is it an
that's what we're up
offence?
against.
Is it an offence to wear a medal that you're not entitled to?
Yeah, it is. It is. The what is it? The medals. I just forget the name of the act at the moment. But the 1980 Act of can't think of it. But anyway, there is legislation there. It is an offence. It's fairly prescriptive, and generally there's an element of intent, an intent to defraud or gain some sort of advantage from it.
Yeah.
So it's not a cut and dried thing as far as our legislation is concerned. But for all the effort in prosecuting somebody or attempting to prosecute, if it is successful, then the maximum a person can expect is a $500 fine.